This is a story about a scholar who found fault with God's creation. Once upon a time during a summer day, the afternoon sun was hanging lazily in the sky. Its golden glow filtered through the dense canopy of an old walnut tree. Beneath its cooling shade, a middle-aged scholar named Benjamin sat cross-legged, a thick book resting beside him. His long robes fluttered slightly in the warm breeze. Benjamin sighed in contentment. This was his favorite hour of the day, the lull between his morning studies and the return to his candlelit desk in the evening. For years, he had spent his afternoons beneath this tree, indulging in a simple meal and the soft whisper of rustling leaves. It was here that he let his mind wander, where the rigid boundaries of scholarly pursuit softened, allowing imagination and memory to take root. He wondered what his attendant has packed for lunch today. He was glad to see a juicy watermelon cut into slices, ready to be devoured. He picked a thick slice of watermelon, its ruby flesh glistening with juice. He took a slow bite, savoring the crisp sweetness, the coolness melting against his tongue. The scent of ripe walnuts surrounded him, their hard brown shells hanging just within reach, swaying ever so gently in the wind. Benjamin chuckled to himself as he wiped the watermelon juice from his chin. He looked up at the strong, twisting branches of the walnut tree above him, then down at the thick green vines sprawling across the earth where watermelons thrived. What an amusing contradiction, he thought. The walnut, so small and light, grows on such sturdy branches, yet the watermelon, large and weighty, must rest on the ground, its vines too weak to lift it. Would it not have made more sense if it were the other way around? If watermelons hung from these strong branches and walnuts nestled safely on the ground? He chuckled again, an amused sound escaping his lips as he shook his head in quiet disbelief. Aha! His gaze lingered on the curious sight before him, a peculiar mistake of nature that defied logic, as if the world itself had faltered in its perfect order this time. Was it an accident, a miscalculation in the grand design of life, or simply a nature's way of playing a subtle joke? Whatever the case, he found himself both bewildered and entertained, his amusement mingling with a quiet sense of wonder at the mysteries of the natural world. The thought lingered in his mind as he finished the last juicy bite of his watermelon and leaned back against the rough bark of the tree. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves above, the dappled sunlight dancing on his robes. And then, plop! A walnut, loosened by the wind, fell straight from the branch and landed squarely on Benjamin's forehead. "Ow!" he exclaimed, rubbing the spot where it had struck him. The walnut, light as it was, had given him a small but surprising jolt. He picked it up, turning it over in his fingers, and suddenly a thought dawned upon him. He gazed up at the branches once more, imagining, for a brief moment, what would have happened had it not been a walnut that had fallen, but a watermelon. Benjamin burst into laughter, the kind that came from realizing one's own foolishness. He lifted his eyes to the sky and shook his head. "Ah, forgive me, God," he said, still chuckling. "Perhaps your wisdom is greater than mine after all." With a newfound appreciation for the harmony of creation, he broke the walnut shell, took a bite, and let its flavor remind him of a simple but profound truth. Things were exactly as they were meant to be. God's design is perfect, and it is a folly to doubt it. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe this channel to encourage us to create more stories for you.